And today's topic is making money with sublimation, the holiday market. Now, the holiday season is definitely the opportunity for new business opportunities. And though most of us focus on Christmas, there's actually other celebrations going on during this time frame. So it's important for you as a business owner to understand that and as well be respectful of that. Now, regardless of which direction we go, key sales angles include holiday decor, personalized gifts, and the corporate market. Some statistics. Well, on the focus of Christmas spending is predicted to be over $1 trillion this Christmas on a consumer level. That figure includes gifts, food, travel, decorations. Some of that we can't sublimate, okay? But the reality is we can carve out a small piece of that with what we can do with sublimation. And I say a small piece, it's a small piece of 1 trillion, but it's a very significant piece for what you would be able to actually do and the money that you can generate during this season. So let's start talking about holiday decor. Now, during this season, millions of homes are decorated for holidays. Each with its own unique style and sense of tradition. So think here, decor, decoration, obviously, right? So this is where people want themed products, okay? Themed products. Themed for whichever celebration that is important to them. This could be a lot of interior items such as ornaments, coasters, photo panels, etc. On the outside, it could be things like flags and doormats. Really anything that you want to put outside to some degree should work, because I know a lot of you are thinking, you know, sublimation, the UV angle, but let me tell you what, UV is not going to be a problem for the short span of the holiday season. So yes, there are plenty of things that could be used outdoors as well, as long as it can stand up to the weather in general, okay? But probably a lot of the decor will be indoors. So who is doing most of the buying? And that's an important question, because you have a better idea of who it is that's actually writing the check, as we like to say. You have a better idea of how to tailor the products to them. Well, the answer is women. Women are the primary decorators and purchasers of holiday decor items. So think about that as you're putting together your plan, your sales and marketing plan, of what would probably have the most appeal to women. Okay, you know, men, we're important. We write the check, and the wife says, get that, and get that, and then, you know, we deliver it to her. Okay, and then of course when we get into talking about, you know, gift giving, etc. Again, personalized gifts add a really nice special touch during the holiday season. So again, women are probably the #1 purchaser of that as well. Now, the profit potential, just for fun, put together a few things here, and let's say that you package together. Okay, you package together a nice little retail package, okay, grouping, however you want to call it. A coaster set that was $24, a door hanger that was $10, an 8x10 Christmas plaque, $25, and 4 personalized ornaments, $40. That would total out to $95, and actually I think we could get a little bit more money, especially for those personalized ornaments and what you have listed there. But let's just say it was $95 and you sold that to 40 homes. That's $3,800. And it's not too bad. You may be able to find different things to group together, and that's fine. I mean, that's part of retail. Right now when we're talking about holiday decor, we're talking a lot of retail, because we're probably selling to the end user in a lot of cases. There may be certainly cases where you're selling to someone who's going to resell, but a lot of times what we're actually doing is like personalized home decor products for the season, and therefore we'd be selling to the end user ourselves, and we should be able to get better profits than what you see here. Okay, just find the right products for your marketplace. Okay, so ornaments are always a big deal, you know, to me anyway. I think most of us that celebrate Christmas have a tree, and ornaments go on the tree. Personalized ornaments work great, but there's all kinds of other things. And think about this too, is tying in the theme of Christmas with a photograph. Okay, so it's like the family around the Christmas tree, and the photograph's taken and put onto something that's displayed in the house, etc., etc. So there's all kinds of things going on with that particular angle. Some examples here, we see some ornaments. Now, a lot of the ornaments for sublimation are the flat pieces like you see here. We also have the round ones that are the ball, and it's not completely a ball, okay, because it's actually sliced over here on one side where it has a pop-out piece where we can put a photograph. And then we have, you know, all kinds of interesting ornament shapes. Okay, here we have something for our pets, okay, or at least the K9 version. Next we see the Christmas stocking, very, very popular. Notice the date. Date's very important. It lets us know what year the photo was taken. It also makes this outdated, so they need a new one next year. Okay. This is actually a table runner. I left a little lines here so you can see what I did was I just simply took the image and was repeating it along a long table runner. The bottom one is a serving tray, obviously. All these were done with Creative Studio, so very useful tools in there to be able to create some images that you can put together for promotional purposes. Over here, some of the outside decors I was talking about, we have different types of flags and even a car flag. Now, granted, to do some of these full bleeds, you would need a VJ628, but you can do smaller flags, the garden flags and all, I would say an SG800 pretty easily. And then never forget about holiday decor for the body, you know, the ugly sweater, ugly sweatshirt, you know, kind of thing, whatever. So there you see a sweatshirt and a beanie. There's plenty of other things as well. So that's holiday decor as well because people are wearing it around. So it's not just decorating the house. Okay, so when we talk about decor, we're really talking about themed items. But when we talk about gifts, especially personalized gifts, we're not talking about holiday themes anymore. I mean, most people don't give you a gift that has a holiday theme unless it's a box of, you know, candy inside a Christmas theme container. Okay, so the reality is most of our gift giving is just gifts given from the heart to someone that's important. All right, what could be better than a personalized gift? There. Okay, so a lot of our personalized gifts are simply just going to be a photograph of something important onto some type of product that's useful and important to the person who's going to receive it. So that's what we're talking about here with the personalization marketplace. So many times we're just so intent on putting Santa Claus or Christmas trees or whatever on things, but we don't really have to in this season. That's an important thing for us to remember as well as our customer. You can see here in this photograph there's a tremendous amount of personalized products, many of which will make a wonderful Christmas gift. You can see the young lady is using a tablet that's been personalized with her name and a picture of Kiwi, see, another personalized product, who happens to be lying on the couch with his own personalized bandana on his own personalized pillow. Okay, there's a lot of personalization going on here. He has a personalized food bowl down here, and here's a floor mat that's been turned into a mat for putting the food bowl, the water bowl, and those kind of things on. Okay, that's dedicated to Kiwi, and all these items right here are dedicated to Kiwi. Okay, he's a popular fellow, and he doesn't even know it because really and truly most of the products are for the owner, not for the dog itself. Okay, because the dog's probably not drinking out of a coffee mug. Well, who knows? Maybe he is. But anyway, so the key here is a lot of these have graphics, but most of them have a photograph somewhere. And the photo really adds to it, adds value without adding cost. That's what's important. Adds value without adding cost for you, which means you can get a higher margin. All right, sports and spirit themes, very popular for family members that are involved in such activities. Here we have home decor that's not holiday decor, okay? So in other words, there's lots of home products that make wonderful gifts that we can personalize that don't necessarily have that holiday theme. And of course, capturing special moments throughout the year, you know, usually family-oriented, graduations, vacations, summer camp, weddings, I mean, new members to the family as in births, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, it's just all kinds of things that we can capture with sublimation and then turn it into a wonderful gift. Hobbies and leisure. You know, almost everybody has that, and for some people, their hobby is everything. The pets, and certainly we do have products that can be sublimated for pets, but a lot of the products will end up being really for the owner. Okay, they're just pretending it's for the pet. You know what I mean? But There's lots and lots of opportunity. That's a whole market in itself, is the pet marketplace. And then, as I say, a bunch of other stuff. Okay, a lot of neat jewelry products out there, just all kinds of different things that, again, we can have that special touch. So what is the most popular holiday gift? I have no clue yet. It'll have to wait and see, won't we? But notice here, again, the year. So that's important. I will tell you that in holidays past that we've seen phone covers being up there, because phone cover is a great personalization product. Here we have a phone cover that was $3.25. It was about 13 cents for the cost of ink and paper, and that was just based on a square inch, okay? Because a sheet of paper is really about 20 cents, but this is just based on square inch. Labor and overhead, $2. That comes out to $5.38. Or if you want to charge for the whole sheet of paper, it comes out to what, $5.58? Or actually, yeah, we'll say that, $5.58. Yeah, just to be safe, right? Okay, not a make or break number. So if your total is $5.38 to $5.58, and you sold it for $35, you got a pretty nice profit in there. When you start saying there's no way you can sell for $35, you got to remember what's on it. I agree, some phone covers we couldn't sell for $35, but when you start making a very personalized product like this, $35 is pretty much on the upper end, but it's possible, and it's done every day. If you can only get $25, you still got a pretty good margin in there. So just think those things through. All right, how are we going to go sell this stuff, especially working from home? If you have a retail store, it makes it easier, right? But a lot of times you don't. So you got to get out in front of people the best that you can. And you got to figure out how that's done. You know, if you just have a website, do people find it? There's a lot that goes into it. So one of the things you might look at, because everybody wants to do everything internet, and they forget that a lot of people are reached better if it's not on the internet initially, because it's easier to get lost on the internet, right? Think about where people go and sit and wait. And when they have to sit and wait, they're usually reading a magazine or something, or looking at their phone, right? But, you know, if you look at some things like salons, for example, or doctor's offices, dentist office, whatever, people typically come in, sit down, pick up a magazine or something to read. What if you had a flyer there? What if you had a flyer that had some really exciting pictures of some really key products, so that would catch your attention, and yes, with a website on there, so they can immediately go to the website and learn more. So that is one way, because you always got to find a way to draw them to your website if you have one. You know, social media is fine if you're reaching people, but you have to find a way to reach people, and sometimes we got to go offline to reach people and then bring them back online to where you can actually communicate with them, if you understand what I'm saying. So, you know, you talk to some of these service providers that you know, see if A, it's okay to put, you know, some brochures together and put them out there. You could go a step further with some of them and even have samples where people could see and view the samples, but I wouldn't get too complex, because most of these service providers don't want to take orders. They'll just help you put some information out there. Now, if you happen to have a retail location, well, build it up with as many samples as you can. Get people excited when they walk by, whether you're in a store or a kiosk or whatever. You got to put those things out there to get their attention. If you're online, build web pages with images of your products that are easy to find, easy to see, easy to understand. Always be thinking about packaging and cross-selling, meaning don't sell them just an ornament. If they're going to buy an ornament, they should be buying, you know, half a dozen other things as well. You know, mugs, for example, very popular item. So always be looking at that whole packaging concept. If here's a great gift package, okay, or a great decoration package, or whatever it is that you want to sell. Another creative way is having a booth in a craft or gift show. This gets you out in front of the consumers and lets you sell retail, but you don't have the expense of having a retail store. What you have is you have a temporary pop-up store for a weekend or something to that effect. So if you go to some of these well-attended, you meet a lot of people, you get to show them a lot of products, you get in front of them, you lead them back to your website or however you really want to do business, but that way you got it in front of people, and you got to get in front of people to be able to reach them. On the high-end scale of cost, but I know quite a few people have done this successfully, they'll go into the mall and they'll rent a kiosk for the season. And typically that's October, November, December. Some of them are November through January, but most of them they rent through December and then they're done. Okay, after Christmas. Like I said, you're going to pay some money to do that, and you're going to work long hours. But if you're in a very busy mall, then there's a lot of people there, and a lot of this is if they see it being produced in front of their eyes, they want it right then. So it's, I'll wait for it, and they're paying a premium price because they're getting it personalized while they wait. That becomes huge. I know somebody who grew his business significantly by having seasonal kiosks in about 3 malls every year. So it's something to consider. It's not for everybody. Home parties is pretty creative. The idea of a home party, some people call them trunk shows, is that you have created a really cool selection of products that you're going to take into someone's home and show them to people that have been invited to a party. And I reference the Mary Kay, Pampered Chef Tupperware. They do the same kind of thing. You have a host, and the host invites friends. You come set up and you show all the stuff, and everyone has fun with wine and cheese or milk and cookies or whatever. Pretty good way, though, to show things and take orders right there on the spot. Got to think a lot about what goes in there. And it's got to look good, and it's got to be well organized. You just don't want to pull a bunch of junk out that just is, maybe individual pieces look good, but when it's pulled out as a whole, it looks sloppy. So think about that. Maybe it's themed. You show children's things, and then you show pet things, and you show husband, wife, thing, whatever. You kind of got to think it through, trying to think of the clientele. But those are effective because they're not very expensive if you have people who make good hostesses and are able to bring in people. Okay, nothing else is getting your name out there. All right, so we looked at holiday decor. We looked at personalized gifts. Now let's talk a little bit about the corporate marketplace. The corporate marketplace buys products as well. And we have 2 different categories we're going to look into: gifts to staff and employees and gifts to customers. Very similar, these two. There's a few key differences. We'll look at each one separately. So we're going to start with gifts for staff. Now, this will be the company giving their employees some gifts. And it's a nice gesture because if it's a good quality gift, it says several things like, thanks for a job well done. We're glad you're on our team. We recognize who you are and what you contribute. Okay. Now, if it happened to have a corporate logo on it, and a lot of corporate gifts do, it also serves as a promotional product. Something to think about as well. Now, you have to be careful not to offend anybody, okay? Because we do have people of different religions and ethnicity, etc. So typically, corporate staff gifts do not have a Christmas or / holiday theme because of that. Okay, maybe you do a generic holidays, whatever that means, or winter, that type of thing. Maybe it has no theme of that nature. Gifts that are perceived to be cheap will send a negative message. It's actually better not to give a cheap. It's better to give no gift than a cheap gift, because the cheap gift actually says something like, I just threw this together. Okay. Therefore, gifts should be useful, not just trinkets. And a lot of times when you're talking about corporate gifts, you're talking about gifts that somehow tie into that corporation or that business, or whatever it is that you do. Some examples, looking at the compression sleeve. Most people say, really, you would give that as a gift to your employees? Well, if they worked in a health club and they're really into health clubs and stuff, yeah, that might actually be appealing to them. So the concept is to make it appealing to them, but by them working with a certain kind of business, you'll know certain products that may have appeal. Can't go wrong with a coffee mug. Okay, it just works all the way around. The water bottle probably work at a gym. The messenger bag can work in a lot of different places. Here you see it's a healthcare. Same thing with a laptop sleeve. You can work for almost any business. Basic mouse pad, probably too much of a trinket to be honest, but you never know. It could maybe work. But what I was trying to show there was just that simple holiday thing. Again, what kind of business is it? And that's why you see some really bizarre stuff up here, but what kind of business is it? And that's what we're thinking about, because sometimes people that work for a certain business, they really like what the business does and what it puts out, so they're able to provide to their employees something that's related to what the business all around is. I mean, you always go with something simple like coffee mugs. Everybody drinks from a coffee mug. Just make it a nice mug, very nice looking. Yeah, again, some just miscellaneous different products. You know, if they work for a golf course, I don't know if golf golf accessories are appealing to them or not, but you and the owner of the business would know or be able to figure it out. Okay. And then we have the gifts for clients. Again, very simple, very simple. Very similar. There's two logical reasons of why a corporation would spend money on gifts for clients. Number one, to say thank you for your business. Number two, to continue to promote the business to the client. Okay? So this is one of those angles where you point out that this is costing them money, but in the long term, hopefully, it pays for itself. There's an ROI, return on investment, because they're keeping their name in front of the customer and making nice gestures to the customer. All right. So once again, avoid themes that tie into religion and ethnicity. Could be a troublesome. Okay. Generic or no theme at all. And useful. I'm a big believer in useful. Okay. Useful products, because if you get used, people will see that product over and over again. They'll remember who gave it to them, especially if it has a logo on it. So what we want to try and do is make this into a a promotional product that's maybe even been personalized. All right, so let's talk a little bit more about that. Put a brand logo and then put somebody's name on there too. Make sure the logo is small. Okay, you don't want it to be all about you. You want it to be all about them. But you want to take advantage of the space to promote yourself if you can. Okay? Make sure they're not perceived to be cheap. That's bad. Trinkets, bad. Okay? Products should fit the lifestyle of the customer. Same thing back with the clients. Lifestyle, not clients, staff members. Lifestyle of the staff. It should fit that as well. Okay? All those things are important when we're generating our product ideas, product layouts, things of that nature. Just, again, some different ideas. One of the things to think about in all of this, too, is how much money did the client spend with the corporation or business? The better customers should probably get better gifts. Okay? There's nothing wrong with that. All right, creative packaging. And this is going to apply to the staff gifts as well as to client gifts. I love this kind of concept where, for example, we take, there in the very middle, the wine bottle bag. And there's several different kinds of wine bottle bags out there that can be sublimated. We take that and we sublimate it, and then they bundle it with wine because you don't want to be in the alcohol business, okay? There's too many legalities there. But if you're able to put together some kind of nice package and then they finish it off, great, okay? This is you showing them ideas. You take the serving tray where you're sublimating the tray and then they're bundling it with cheese and crackers. Or the coffee mugs, one of the easiest ones of all, where you're doing the sublimation and then they're adding the gourmet coffee or hot chocolate or whatever they want to put in there. And they can do it very easily, okay? If they do hot chocolate, maybe a little pack of marshmallows, and they stick some that tissue paper in there, put a ribbon on it. I mean, it's very easy to do it, but it looks so much nicer than just that plain, boring mug. Anytime you can put personalization on there, it takes it to a higher level because it means somebody thought specifically about them and created a gift specific to them, okay? That's why personalization is important. Doesn't cost a lot more, okay, but it definitely raises the perceived value. All right, some of the ways that we would sell to our corporate marketplace: flyers, e-blasts, social media, conversations, holiday gift parties. Be proactive, okay? So flyers with every order. Start printing out flyers. Come up with some really cool flyers showing ideas and then insert them with every order going out the door, okay? E-blast, if you do that. Not everybody does that. So, a lot of people don't like e-blast and don't give out their email address, whatever. But if you do have your customer emails and they're receptive to e-blast or e-promotions, then by all means send out something super simple, Okay, something that grabs their attention, but most people don't like big emails. So the idea is it's a great picture and then a link to where they can learn more. Okay, probably back to your website, right? Social media, so many ways you can do social media, but first of all, you have to have a social media base. And then you can reach out to them and start putting ideas in front of them and linking them back to an area where you have lots to show. Then there's the good old conversations. If you have sales reps or you're the sales rep, every time you talk to a customer, talk to them about, starting in October, hey, have you thought about Christmas? We have all kinds of great corporate Christmas ideas, okay? Then we have the holiday gift party, different from a home party. This one I learned from a client of mine that's an ad specialty person, promotional products. He and his wife rent a meeting room in a local hotel every fall, and they set up tables full of great products for corporate gifts. And then they invite every client they have and every client they hope to have. So in other words, they do a lot of going out and putting flyers and messaging out in front of other people to draw them in. And they run the thing from 10 in the morning until 8 at night, because the idea is it's not a certain time. You come when it fits. And they have, refreshments and all, and you come in and they just walk you through and start showing you ideas. They have order forms ready to go. They have a sales pitch. Everything's figured out, trust me. But they do a very good job of getting in front of the corporate marketplace and getting the orders in the door for gifts for both staff and clients. So those are just some of the thoughts here of making money in the holiday gift market. Thank you for tuning in. If you have questions of me, feel free to ask. One way is by my email there.